back to my channel. My name is Ashley, and today I'm going to be telling you all about all the books I plan to read this fall. I don't know when fall technically starts, but in my brain it's already fall because I'm already celebrating spooky season. I'm already ready for the spooky reads, the cozy weather, all things cozy. It is just fall in my heart at this point. So I wanted to tell you all about all the books that I plan to read over September, October, and November. And then I'll see you again in November-ish to tell you about what I plan to read over the winter. We have so many books to talk about. I want to talk about arcs that I plan on getting to, some new releases, some books I've had on my shelves for a while that I want to finish by the end of the year, readathons and the TBRs for those. There's just so much to discuss. But before we jump into the books, I do want to take a minute to thank today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. If you've been subscribed to my channel for at least the past couple of months, you'll know that I recently went through a big move. And one of the most exciting things about the move for me was that I was finally going to have my own office where I could close the door, put up all my bookshelves, decorate it the way I want, and I've been having so much fun making this office functional and cute all at the same time. One of the essential items for me to get right since I work from home is a desk, and I've really always wanted to get a standing desk so that I could be like all the TikTok girlies and have a little treadmill walking pad underneath it and just feel like I wasn't just sitting at my desk all day, because when you work from home and you're in this room for 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, you want it to feel comfortable and exciting and be able to mix it up a little bit. So FlexiSpot hooked me up with one of their models. It is the FlexiSpot Comb Har all-in-one standing desk glass top EG8B. I got the black model and it is so sleek and so stunning and just everything that I need in a standing desk. It comes with this touchpad on it so you can adjust it to whatever height is going to be best for you, which I love that it's super flexible. You can also set preset options so that you can save different height levels for maybe how you're sitting in your chair, how you're standing normally, how you're standing on a treadmill while you're walking on that. So I love that it gives all those different options. The height ranges from 28.3 inches at the bottom to 47.6 inches at the top. So you get a ton of flexibility in this range and you can get it to exactly where you need it to be comfortable. It has a really nice glass top, so I just feel so fancy with this desk. It also comes with a drawer, which is nice because you can store some things in there, as well as some USB ports. There are USB ports, one Type-C and two Type-A, which are great for plugging in your devices and charging them while you're working or editing or whatever it is you're doing. And it was just the perfect piece for what I was looking for in my office. If you're interested in getting a desk from FlexiSpot, now is the perfect time to do it too, because they have Tech Day sales going on from September 7th to September 9th, where you can get up to $200 off. If you want to check out that sale, I'll have the link in my description box right down below, so you can click that and check it out for yourself. And thank you again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on into the books. I genuinely have so many books to talk about. I have nearly 50 books on this list. Am I going to be able to get to those within 3 months? Probably not, but I like to mood read, so I like to have some options, and I have big goals. There's so many books I want to get to. So first we'll start with the arcs that I want to read. If you don't know, arcs are advanced reader copies. All of these I have gotten through NetGalley, so they will be ebooks that I am reading, and I'm so excited for literally all of them. The first one that I want to get to is called The Enigma of Room 622 by Joel Dicker. Goodreads says this was first published in May of 2020, but NetGalley says that it's coming out on September 13th of 2022, so I'm not sure if this is a translated edition or if the paperback's coming out or what the deal is there, but I'm really interested in this one. This one sounds like it's going to be an Agatha Christie style mystery, and it says it is good for fans of Ruth Ware and Lucy Foley. The little blurb of the book says, a burnt out writer's retreat at a fancy Swiss hotel is interrupted by a murder mystery in this metafictional, meticulously crafted whodunit. So interestingly, the main character's name is also Joel Dicker, which is the author's name, so not really sure what to expect with that, but it sounds like it's gonna be cozy if it's set at a fancy hotel in the Swiss Alps. You've got a murder, you've got a mystery, you've got a writer, you've got metafiction. I don't know, but I am so here for it. Next up, coming out on September 20th, we have Daphne by Josh Malerman. Surprisingly, I've only read one thing from Josh Malerman before, and that was The House at the Bottom of the Lake, which I have loved, but I never ventured out to read anything else from him. I know he's really famous for Bird Box, but I saw the movies, and so I didn't really feel an interest to read the book, but this one looks super interesting. You're following this teenage girl. It is her last summer before she goes off to college. She's on a basketball team, but then one night before the big game, one of the players Brothers tells a ghost story about Daphne, a girl who went to their school many years ago and died under mysterious circumstances. Some say she was murdered, others that she died by her own hand, and some say that Daphne is a murderer herself. They also say that Daphne is still out there, obsessed with revenge, and will appear to kill again anytime someone thinks about her. So this sounds like another cool monster coming from Josh Malerman, sort of like a Bloody Mary type lore is what it sounds like. The cover is amazing. I'm super excited to jump into my second book from this author. I know he's kind of hit or miss for some people, so I don't know. I'm interested to see what I'll think about this one. Next up, coming out on October 4th, we have Ghost Written by Ronald Malfi. This is actually a collection of 4 horror novellas from this author, and I thought this would be a good place to start with Ronald Malfi because I've never read a full novel from him before. I've been interested in his works, and with this coming out, I thought it was the perfect opportunity to read a couple short novellas and try out his style. All of the novellas are set in the same universe. The first one is called The Skin of Her Teeth, in which a cursed novel drives people to their deaths. The second one is called The Dark Brothers' Last Ride, in which a delivery job turns deadly. The third one is called This Book Belongs to Olo, in which a lonely child has dangerous control over an unusual pop-up book. And the fourth one is called The Story, and it is apparently a choose-your-own-adventure game spiraling into an uncanny reality. So I don't know if that means it's going to be a choose-your-own-adventure for the reader or if it's a story about a choose-your-own-adventure, but I've been really wanting to read a choose-your-own-adventure horror recently after I heard someone talk about it recently. I'm just looking for something cool like that, something immersive. So I really hope that it immerses the reader in that one. But they all sound super interesting, and I think this will be a fun way to check out Ronald Malfi's stuff. And one I am very highly anticipating that is coming out on October 11th is Little Eve by Katrina Ward. I'm pretty sure Katrina Ward has only written 2 novels yet, The Last House on Needless Street and Sundial. I have read both of those and I really enjoyed both of those, and so I'm really excited to see what is coming next from this author. This one is set off the wildest coast of Scotland, where a clan prepares to bring about the end of the world and its imminent rebirth. The adder is coming, and one of their number will inherit its powers. They all want the honor, but young Eve is willing to do anything for the distinction. A reckoning beyond Eve's imagination begins when Chief Inspector Black arrives to investigate a brutal murder, and their sacred ceremony goes terribly wrong, and soon all the secrets of the Isle will be uncovered. Switching it up a little bit from the spooky horror books, on October 4th there is a Christmas book coming out that I'm really interested in picking up, and that is called All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. Maggie Knox is actually a writer duo who came out with a book last year called The Holiday Swap, and I really enjoyed that story. I know it kind of got mixed reviews, but I thought it was really sweet and wholesome and fun and emotional and a good holiday read, so I'm really excited to see what this next Christmas book from them is like. This one is a pitch perfect holiday rom-com about 2 oil and water reality star country singers who must fake a relationship in order to win the opportunity of a lifetime. I love a good fake dating story, so hopefully this one is just as cute as their previous novel. And for another romance read coming out on October 11th, we have Mistakes Were Made by Meryl Wilsner. As soon as I heard the blurb for this one, I was like, absolutely, I have to read that. I am so intrigued. It's about this girl who is a senior in college, and she accidentally hooks up with her best friend's mom. Like, are you kidding me? Absolutely, add to cart. Cannot wait to read that. Going back to the spooky books, coming out on October 18th, we have The Family Game by Catherine Stedman. This is a thriller with a game, which sounds like it's going to be so much fun. In this story, you're following Harriet, who is getting ready to marry Edward, and his family seems really lavish and really successful and very welcoming. And then his dad, Robert, gives Harriet a tape of a book that he's been working on, but when she presses play, it's clear that this isn't just a novel, it's a confession to a grisly crime, a murder, and suddenly the game is in motion. This is either going to be really good or really cheesy. I'm hoping it's really good. It sounds super exciting. Next up, coming out on November 8th, we have A Sliver of Darkness by CJ Tudor. This is CJ Tudor's first short story collection, and I'm very intrigued to see how it goes. I recently this year discovered CJ Tudor for the first time. I read all of her books, and I pretty much at least enjoyed all of them, and I really ended up loving some of them. So I'm really intrigued to see what short stories look like from this author, because she always kind of bridges thriller and horror, so I'm interested to see how that's going to be blended into the collection. Like, is she going to go a little more horror? Is she going to go a little more thriller? The blurb says it has 11 bone-chilling and mind-bending tales, so it sounds like it could go either way, both ways. And it also says that it is CJ Tudor at her most wicked and uninhibited, which definitely intrigues me. And then finally, another romance that I have on my radar is coming out on December 6th, and that is The Key to My Heart by Leah Lewis. Last December, I read 8 Perfect Hours by Leah Lewis, and I absolutely loved it. It was so sweet. It was so heartwarming. It wasn't wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but I just really enjoyed that book. So I'm excited to read another book from this author. This is said to be a heartwarming novel about hope after loss as a young widow receives mysterious messages of love. You're following this woman named Natalie, who has a handsome new husband, a fixer-upper cottage of her dreams, and the opportunity to tour with the musical she spent years writing. But when her husband suddenly dies, all her hopes and dreams instantly disappear. 2.5 years later, she's still lost, but when someone begins to mysteriously leave the sheet music for her husband's favorite songs at the station's piano, she begins to feel a sense of hope and excitement for the first time. As she investigates just who might be doing this, Natalie finds herself on an unexpected journey toward newfound love for herself, her life, and maybe for a special someone. So next up, I want to talk about the Losers Club Readathon. The Losers Club Readathon is a Stephen King readathon that's going to be hosted by myself, Beth from Beth's All Booked, and Elizabeth from Reading Riley. It's going to be going on from September 16th through the 22nd. We have all done an announcement video about it. I will link those down below if you want to get all the details, hear about the prompts, hear about more details behind the readathon. It is a Stephen King themed readathon, but you don't only have to read Stephen King books. You could choose to not read any Stephen King books if you want, but all of the prompts and the theme around the readathon is themed around Stephen King's universe. So for my TBR for that readathon, I don't totally know everything I'm going to read, but I have a couple things picked out. First, I know I'm going to be reading the buddy read, which is 1922. This is a little novella. We picked something short so it could be more accessible to more people, because we all know Stephen King has some really long books out there. And I don't totally know everything that this one is about. It's set at this farmhouse. The wife wants to sell her part of the land, but the husband doesn't, and together they commit a gruesome crime in order to keep the family homestead intact. I've also heard that there are rats in this. There's a little rat on this cover peeking around the corner of it too, so that freaks me out, but I'm excited to read it and see what it's all about. And there's also a movie adaptation of this story on Netflix, which we are going to be watching for a movie watch party, so that'll be 2 prompts knocking out the buddy read and the movie watch party. Then for a king that's been on my backlist that I want to get to is Salem's Lot. I legit know nothing about Salem's Lot except for the trope of what it is about, and I want to keep it that way. So many people talk about this one, people really enjoy this one, and I'm pretty sure there's a movie adaptation coming soon, so I thought it would be a good time to pick this one up, see what it's all about. Other Stephen King books that are on my radar are Misery and Pet Sematary. I don't own either of those, but I'm pretty sure the audiobooks for both of those are on Scribd, so those could be potential last minute shoe-ins if I want to try to read those as well. And then I also have this book Tampa by Alyssa Nutting that I want to read during the readathon. As I'm sure you can tell by the cover, this is a more disturbing horror book. All I know about it is it's about a teacher and student relationship. The teacher is a woman and the student is a male. I started this one a month ago, I believe, and I didn't own the physical copy. I was listening to it on an audiobook, and I felt like I was really enjoying the writing style, but I wasn't able to give it as much attention as I wanted to. So I got the physical copy off of Pengo Books so that I could read it with my own eyes, and I thought the readathon would be a good time to fit it in because it is obviously set at a school, since it is a student-teacher relationship, and one of the prompts is to read a book set at a school. So this is the one that I am doing for that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty disturbing. I really don't know what I'm getting myself into here, but I was too intrigued to not pick it up. For another readathon that I'm going to be hosting in the fall, we are going to be doing a second round of the 24-hour horror-a-thon in October. I just launched this 24-hour horror readathon for the very first time in August, and I had so much fun doing it. And I knew it was something I wanted to be a little more regularly recurring, but I didn't know at exactly what cadence yet. And I don't think I want to do it every month. And after getting you guys' feedback, it seems like you're pretty split between either wanting to do it every month or every other month. So I think we're going to try to do every other month for it, at least for a little bit. We're going to try that out and see how that goes. So we will be having our second round of the readathon in October. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have an announcement video where I talk all about the 24-hour horror-a-thon. I was specifically talking about it for the August round, but all the details will be pretty much the same, except we'll have a different buddy read for the October round. I, right now, as I am recording this, do not know what the buddy read is going to be, but I have a couple options in mind for some horror novellas that are set in October or around Halloween time that I think would be really fun to read. So I'm going to be launching a poll of those on the 24-Hour Horror-A-Thon Instagram. So make sure you're following that Instagram if you're interested in participating in this readathon in the future, so you can vote on selections and see announcements related to the readathon. But by the time this video is going up, that poll should be completed. So I will put the buddy read here to let you know what the buddy read is going to be for the October round. And I haven't announced the date yet, but it's probably going to be either the very last Friday of October or the second to last Friday of October, and we'll go from 8 p.m. EST to 8 p.m. EST the next day like we did during this first round. So the date is TBD. Like I said, make sure you're looking out at that Instagram for announcements, and any details you need relating to it will be linked down below, including the Instagram, the Discord, the announcement video, and all of that. I'm sure there will be other readathons going on during the fall that I will want to participate in, but I don't know of any yet or exact dates, so I don't have TBRs lined up for those. But as I'm figuring those out, I'll be sharing them on my personal Instagram at Ashley's Little Library, so you can keep an eye out there for if I decide to participate in readathons at the last minute. I'll probably vlog them if I do, and then you'll see that on my channel as well. For the next grouping of books on my fall TBR, I have a couple what I'm calling weird books, and I've been thinking about doing a reading vlog where I read all three of these quote-unquote weird books that seem to have trouble being categorized by genre. When I hear people talk about them, they just say they're weird and they don't know what they read or they don't know what genre they are, and I can't really decide definitively if I like weird books or if I don't like weird books. I feel like I say I like weird books, but I'm not sure if I really do, so I thought it might be fun to just pick up a couple weird books and see how it goes. The three that I have on my list for that are Patricia Wants to Cuddle by Samantha Allen, Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder, and A Touch of Gin by Beth Morgan. All of these I've heard pretty bad reviews for, but the people who like them really like them. So I thought it would just be interesting to see if I end up liking them. When I mentioned A Touch of Gin before on my channel, I don't know what video it was, but I brought it up in some kind of video. Probably was a TBR and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So many people were in the comments saying they would love to see me vlog my experience reading it because it's just so weird. So I thought it would be fun to do that for these three books. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Let me know if you have any other books that you think would be good weird books to throw in the mix with this, or if you feel like maybe one of these doesn't fit the mold perfect for a weird book video, because it's kind of hard to know until you've read the books yourself. But planning on doing this either in September or November. So hopefully that'll be fun. And then in October, I would really like to get to some classic horror books that I've been putting off for a long time. So for those, I have The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson, Carmilla by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I've thought about trying to do a vlog where I read all of these, but that also sounds a little bit miserable to me to have to read a bunch of classics back to back if I'm already intimidated by classics and not regularly wanting to pick them up. So if I were going to read these four books, let me know down in the comments below which you would be most interested in seeing me vlog, and I'll probably do a single vlog for it. I would venture to guess that the two that you would be most interested in a dedicated vlog for would be either Jane Eyre or Frankenstein. But if you would also be interested in seeing a dedicated vlog to Carmilla or Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that would be fine too, but I would imagine these would be the more popular ones that you'd be interested in seeing the full vlog for. So let me know your thoughts on that. I could try to do a vlog where I read all of them, and maybe I could film it across the month so I'm not really reading them back to back. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. For all of the rest of the books that are on my TBR, they have random objectives. So there is one big group of books on my TBR that are old books that have been on my TBR for a long time. And I made this list 6 months ago or so of those books and told myself that if I don't read them by the end of the year, I have to unhaul them and they cannot come into 2023 with me. And so given that this TBR spans through the end of November, I really need to read a lot of them during the fall. But realistically, I know I'm not gonna be able to get to all of them. And I wanna try to approach things with more of a mindset of it's okay to DNF and maybe the book's just not for me anymore. So I'm not gonna tell you about all of those books because that would take a while, but I'll throw this up and show you all of the books that are in this grouping of the books that I've got to get off my TBR that I'm hoping to get to in the fall. There's still some more that I'm going to get to in December, hopefully, but this is going to be mostly what I need to read throughout the rest of the year, or else they go off my TBR. So let me know if any of these stand out to you, if you think I'm really going to enjoy any of these, or on the opposite end, let me know if you think any of these are not going to be worth my time and I should deprioritize them in case I get to the point where things have got to be unhauled by the end of the year, so I know which ones are not as worth saving. And then the other grouping of a bunch of books that are on my TBR, these are safe. They can come into 2023 with me because these are books that I either recently bought or was recently gifted to me. And so right now I'm super hyper excited for them because they just came onto my TBR and I always want to read those books first, but I'm also trying to be mindful of all the other books that I need to get to. So these are books that I'm really excited for, that I know I'm going to read at least like half of them this fall. And I can't even stack rank for you which ones I'm the most excited about because I'm genuinely so excited about all of these. Some of these are a little more outside my comfort zone too, or they're a little more in that weird bucket of my reading that is not thriller and horror, but I really think that I could really love them. So I know I'm not gonna be able to resist holding off on reading these so I can get to all the older books on my TBR. So I thought I might as well just let you know these books will probably be read during the fall as well. So that is it for my very ambitious fall TBR. Let me know down in the comments what you plan on reading this fall. Let me know which books you're most excited to hear me talk about that I talked about today. Which ones do you want to see vlogs for? Which ones do you think are going to be 5 stars for me? Let me know. And if you want to leave an emoji down in the comments below to let me know that you got to the end of today's video. Today's emoji is going to be the pumpkin emoji because I'm so excited for fall. It is fall in my heart. We are now claiming it as fall. And don't forget, if you want to check out the sales from FlexiSpot for Tech Day, that link is going to be in my description box right down below, so you can click that to save up to $200 off from September 7th through September 9th. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!